got to this situation, both on and off the field, and Jason had to answer those as being the head coach. And I suppose his synopsis.
Boys,
of that,
I've actually got some breaking. I've got some breaking news.
Yep.
I've just received a text from one of my sources who says that Jason Demetriou has gone effective immediately.
Okay.
Wow.
So I have to double, triple check that, but that's it's a source I trust implicitly, and the person who's telling me should know what he's talking about. So, I stand to be corrected, but the information I've been given just now from a good source is that he's gone effective immediately. So, which is predictable, but sad at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
If it's correct, and I do trust the person telling me.
Yeah, well said, because it is sad because he's a good man. He is a good coach as well. So how far down the track do you think they were, Denny, with a potential Wayne Bennett to be that incoming coach for 2025?
Well, you guys would know Wayne better than I would,
yeah,
and how he operates. I find him tricky, to say the least. I find him hard to... I'll give you an example. I sent him a message a little while ago because he doesn't always answer my calls. And like I say, would you move to Sydney? Would you be interested in coaching the Rabbitohs? Blah, 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 that sort of text. And he wrote back, "Thank you, I've got your message." Something. There was no answer to my question. So I wrote back, said, "Wayne, you didn't answer my question." And what do they call it when I've been ghosted?
Ghosted, yeah, you got ghosted.
So is that the word? That's what
that's a cool word, mate.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So
I've been ghosted by Wayne.
There you go.
I think it'd be the wrong decision. Like I've said many a times, if they put Wayne in there, I think we're here in 2 years' time talking about the same scenario.
Why is that?
I just think, Danny, as the listeners will know, I just feel as though that we're in the same situation in 2 years. We're talking about
when Wayne leaves,
life after Wayne, and whether the incoming coach that's working under him is going to be able to walk out of that shadow. So
casts a big shadow. Doesn't
yeah,
he?
exactly, he does. But they do need a coach that's strong in their convictions and has had some experience. So that's why I think maybe a Sean Wayne from England.
Madge.
I'm a Madge man. So hey, Danny. So no word at the moment from your source around who potential interim is at the moment.
No, my source has only just told me that it's definitely right. Demetriou is no longer the South Sydney coach. There was speculation earlier in the day about David Furner.
Yes.
I find it a little bit surprising, given he's just walked into the place.
Yep.
Ben Hornby, he was there today. As their assistant coach, he may be more logical in that sense, but what a wasted season!
Oh, it is, isn't it, for the South
what a
fans?
Wasted season.
So much hype around the talent pool that they have there. It's so disappointing.
Yeah, they're just reporting now, Danny. Yeah,
what do you think about?
They're just reporting now that he has officially been sacked. So you're right. Yeah,
we got the scoop.
So you got the mail first, boys.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Danny.
You got the mail first. That, all for free, too. God.
Everything comes with a price down the track. We know that.
I'll buy you a coffee on Thursday, mate.
Hey, Danny, thanks.
Anything for the rat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Dirt. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danny, for joining us on Sports Day. We really appreciate it, mate.
See you, mate.
Thank you, guys.
So there it is. Exclusive from Danny Wilder that before it was announced on all the news cycles and here on Sports Day that Jason Demetriou officially sacked by the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and I thought he summed it up really well. We knew it was going to happen, and it's sad. It's sad when it happens to anyone.
Sad for the fans of South to like Danny. What a wasted season.
Yep. Who stands into that role, which is a difficult role? You've got a strong board, strong owners, the biggest supporter base, arguably, in the competition, and a club that expects success pretty much most years.
Well, Cam's just mentioned, he says, I don't get the shock of the Rabbitohs' poor performance. Their roster has been overrated. They're just not that good from top to bottom.
I tend to agree with Cam. Yeah, when you look at a lot of their players, especially
Okay.
with Campbell Graham out.
All right, Campbell Graham's out. You've got about to be the greatest finisher of all time on the wing.
Injured.
He's injured.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You've got a rookie fullback at the moment. You've got Jack Whiten, who's been trying really hard. You've got a Cody Walker, who was not playing to his potential. And
A halfback who's
purely due to fitness.
halfback who's feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Yep. You've got a lock forward who I get concerned about if he's going to get burnt out of the game,
Cam
the amount
Murray.
of work that he puts himself through.
Yeah.
You have Jacob Host, who is, he's picked each week.
Jai Arrow's been injured.
Keon Kulamatangi, who hasn't been the Keon Kulamatangi that we've seen play Origin. Jai Arrow had injured. The list goes on.
Tola, he's been injured.
Yeah. Damien Cook spent some time in second grade, whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah.
So Cam actually makes a point.
You know
He
what?
might move into our Goodwill Hunting group.
Now that I look at that, maybe.
Yeah, so that's huge news. Again, as expected, but when it actually comes to fruition, it's still a bit of a shock because you think about the person who's received the bad news. And we're probably thinking, as Jason Demetriou, did he know that news when he walked out today in front of the media and there might have been an embargo put on it? And maybe did they just wait to discuss what the possible options are moving forward as a board? Plenty to discuss and plenty more to go with it as well. We've got Cam here again saying, I don't get the shock. Oh, no, that's the one we just read out.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts? 0457 736 736 or Kiwi listeners, if you're a South Sydney fan or even if you've just got an opinion, 8833. Let us know your thoughts. So, do you know what? The more I think about it, I do think of a Sean Wayne from the UK who's an experienced coach, is renowned for being a really hard taskmaster. Has been touted as a potential coach in the NRL for a number of years, but has never really made the jump. Has had great success as well.
Yeah, I just think they need someone to go in there and just. You got to have a relationship with the players, but it's almost like it needs to be ruled with an iron fist. Because if your main man Latrell is getting treated in any way different to other players, it creates a just a funk within the group that can filter through and just turn into a mess. And look, mate, Latrell mightn't think he was being treated differently either. Like Latrell might think that, and that might come down to the inexperience of Jason Demetriou not understanding how to manage that situation. So I think they need a firm, hard taskmaster to go in there and like a Shane Flanagan, for instance, gone into St George. He's gone, this is how it's going to be, bang, bang, bang. They're winning some games. They're not going great, but they're going much better than anybody thought.
Yeah.
Couple of losses. They seem to lose really poorly, but the Rabbits do too.
Do you know what? There's that saying that's gone around in rugby league or in professional sport where every coach has only got 3 blow-ups a year, then you just lose the dressing room?
That's a lie.
It's an absolute crock of crap. Yeah, because Craig Bellamy has made a career out of making people better by putting you front and centre in front of your playing group if you make a mistake or do something wrong or you're not following the right values that the club want to put in front of you. So with the right coach, they have the ability to go in there and not cuddle players through the situation, but tell them squarely, right between the eyes, that this is a club that demands success, the club that has won the most premierships, and they don't want to freeze on that number for an extended period of time. So if we want to move the needle, this is how we're going to do it, and you're either on or you're off.
So talked about Wayne Bennett, casts a big shadow, hard to follow. Wayne Bennett comes in there for 2 years. Sam Burgess is in the UK. He stays over there, and he's doing well by all reports.
Doing a great job.
They want to extend him. He's over there for 2 years. South bring him back. I think Sam at South casts a pretty big shadow himself, and he'll have the respect of the players.
Well, it's about that word, isn't it? We use it with Mal Meninga, and it's the word aura. They walk into a room, and they're front and centre. They take up all the oxygen in the room.
Yep.
There's not a lot of room for anyone else to move. And in some cases, that's what you need when you try and rebuild a club.
Yep.
I mean, Melbourne had to go through, even though they came into the comp in 98, they missed the finals for a couple of years there. And then when they brought Bellamy in 2003, he had to not rebuild the club, but he had to reshape and restructure the club. And hence what they're doing now. And I think South Sydney are at that stage now. as a lot of our listeners said, they missed the finals last year after leading the comp halfway through the season.
Yeah, they did, but they had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Like Latrell being one main one was out. So you can sort of forgive them for that. If Kalen Ponga's out of the Knights, they're not making the finals. If you take Nico Hines out of Cronulla, they're probably going to struggle to make the finals. You take that key player, that linchpin, out, then they're going to struggle. So you forgive them for that. And, with the inclusion of Whiten and the development of some of the younger players, you think, okay, like the injuries that they had last year in their middles, in their front row, they just couldn't keep everyone on the field. So you get it. But you look at that side and you think, at the start of this year, I thought, well, they're going to go all right, this South Sydney. They'll do well.
158 said Souths are best off picking up the phone and getting Michael Potter in for the rest of the season. He did a very good job at the Dogs. There's a guy who hits you straight between the eyes if you're not following.
Mick Potter.
Yeah. Tough man.
St George?
St George Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Won double Rothmans medal.
Yep.
Amazing. A good guy too. And a really good taskmaster as well. G'day, Shaggers. The Reptiles, a South fan, called up earlier on. I'm sad for JD, handled this with class, but now the players need to lift and the fans need to get behind them. You can be the nicest guy in the world and be a poor leader. You can be a horrible bloke and a great leader, Reptile
Good point.
says. You know what? And yeah, you're exactly right there. It's he did handle it with class. I'll tell you an example of another coach that handled his terminations with class was Anthony Griffin. When he was shown the door at Panthers and the Broncos, on both occasions he went on some of the magazine shows, the TV shows, and he never once spoke ill of the club. He spoke about the situation that he's found himself in, and because of the way that he handled it, he got other jobs in the NRL. Now, whether they were the right appointment or not, I'm just talking about the way that he handled it, and he handled it with class and professionalism, and that's why other clubs said, you know what, this guy still may have something. It didn't work out that way, but it still got him another job. So I still think he's got a place in the game.
Well, Simon
Jason
from
Demetriou.
Balgana just said, NRL 360 saying, unconfirmed reports Wayne Bennett will be at South in 2025, and rest assured they have been in talks with Wayne all day before releasing Jason Demetriou. Wayne Bennett will be back at South next season. It's a fair point.
Like, if you've got unconfirmed reports, there's no use reporting it.
No, but here's the reality, right? Why did today take so long?
Well,
why? Are they working out what his payout figure is? Are they, is it that hard? Or are they just making sure that they got their ducks in a row before they pull the trigger?
There's a lot of discussions that have behind closed doors, right? One is payout, CFO and CEO involved in that. You've got you got your media and communications manager, Jeremy Monahan, who would have been in there in relation to the various releases that they would leave for the media. Then they're talking about strategies around what happens from the minute we walk out of this door and we announce it, from tomorrow onwards. Who's playing what role? Is there an interim coach that we've currently got internally? Are we going to bring someone in that we've already been discussing in case this day was going to happen? There are so many areas you've got to follow and cover before you actually come out with the media release. Now the decision would have been made hours ago. It's about the strategy around what happens after.
So Fitzy makes a good point here. He says, hey, boys, did JD's problems start when they didn't renew Reynolds?
I think it started. Well, did it start because they were leading the comp halfway through the season last year? You can always go back to that. They were going okay without Adam Reynolds. And then they got some injuries. Yeah, and then after Origin.
But you think about it, right? When things are good, it's easy to be happy and, everyone's, they're all towing the same line. Yep. They're all, then when you find out is when you're losing. And if Adam Reynolds is the general of that side and he's not there and he's not saying, oi, pull your finger out, come and do your extras, or, now stop talking to that. We're not going to be a den of iniquity in the bloody strapping room. Come out on the field. Let's work on the things that are going to make us better. If you don't have that guy, which from all reports was Adam Reynolds, as their
holding people accountable,
their leader, that's a really good point, Fitzy. I think you're right.
In your eyes, who are the top three contenders?
Coaches? Yeah. Well, Wayne Bennett will be one.
Hillstorm Hillary, Walker's on times 2 for Rabbits.
Do you know what, Hillstorm? I love where you're going with that, but they haven't even coached in the Queen. I want to see them back coaching first.
Yeah, they're not going to do
it's a difficult job going in and running a full rugby league department if you've never done it at NRL level.
What about this?
So what about 502 says, what about Michael Cheika, boys? Eels or the Rabbits?
Mate, Michael Cheika is a phenomenal human being and a great coach and a great leader of men.
Yep.
He would be phenomenal. I would love to see him have a crack at rugby league because I just think
he's a rugby league man too, isn't he?
He is. Loves it. Roosters, man.
We got another text here, and I can't seem to find it. I will give a shout out when I do find it. But basically, it was saying, it's saying, what about Brad Arthur? Does he leave Parramatta and go to South? Now, I think Brad Arthur's still got a role in the game as well.
What do you mean role in the game? He has got a role in the game.
I'm saying if he is to be moved on from Para, which I think is not a bad thing for Brad Arthur, because I still think he's got a place in the game.
Well, I don't think he's getting moved on.
So I think Bennett will obviously. I think Sean Wayne from England had great success with Wigan and co. And I think the other one would be, I'm not quite sure, Daddy Vass. Not quite sure.
Interesting.
Josh Hannay. There you go.
Josh Hannay.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't think they can bring a rookie in there. I don't think they can bring a rookie head coach in there like they did with JD.
Yep.
I think they need a hard-nosed
John Cartwright.
I think Johnny Cartwright.
Cart'd be good.
He's really comfortable being an assistant coach.
Yeah, it's a hard gig, and you got to really want to be that guy.
Yep.
Like I said, I mean, when you're an assistant coach, no one's talking about Ben Hornby, are they? Like
we are. Like other people are, yeah.
Like South, like they are Jason Demetriou or Brad Arthur. Like no one's talking about, John Morris or, Josh Hannay at the Shark. Like they don't get mentioned. They don't get this. Being an assistant coach, if you've got a good assistant coach role and you're working, with someone who you get on with and you're in a good position, why would you throw yourself up? Unless you've got that real aspiration.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I'm sure Cardi'd probably still want to be a head coach, but I'm not sure. You have to have very thick skin and a very hard head to go and coach at South.
Yep. Now, before we get to the break, Stormy Daniel says Sats and Rat the worst kept secret for the past month. Yep. If the Rabbitohs are fair dinkum, they go back to Madge. He needs to go in there with a big stick and restore standards, which he did very well when he went in there. The second coming of Madge, who would be a better coach now than he was when he arrived in 2012 pre-season, could be precisely what the Rabbitohs require. And Stormy Daniel, couldn't think of anyone better.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. Imagine that he takes New South Wales to victory and then sails into South headquarters.
Make a movie about it.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Michael Carianis is reporting that Ben Hornby will be
the interim coach.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
there you go. So Matt Johns didn't get miss the boat there.
Love you, Matty. No, that's unconfirmed.
Oh, it was unconfirmed.
Yeah, that's unconfirmed.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to a break on Sports Day. Sats and Rat, plenty more after that.